On the table today, we have a machine that I am extremely excited to review and quite honestly perplexed as to why it is not receiving a whole lot more attention. This is the Profitec GO, a brand new machine from the German manufacturer that is known for excellent build quality and representing excellent value at pretty much every price point they enter. Now, they're dipping their toes into the entry-level single boiler machine market. So if trickle-down technology is absolutely anything to be considered, then this is going to be one heck of a machine. Should you be considering it? Let's find out. Before we get going, I do want to just quickly mention that I am borrowing this machine from Whole Latte Love for the sake of this review. However, as always, that will have zero impact on the contents of this video or the opinions expressed in it. If you do want to check your local pricing for this machine, I will have it linked down in the description below. As mentioned, the first thing that always impresses me about Profitec machines is the build quality. Their machines are handmade in Germany, and from my experience, never sacrifice when it comes to the materials used, not only in higher touch point areas, but throughout the entire machine build. However, admittedly, this is easier to accomplish on higher price point espresso machines like Profitec are used to manufacturing. So what about the GO? Thankfully, Profitec have still stayed true to their roots, even on this more budget-friendly machine. Every surface is made of beautifully finished metal, and tolerances feel just as good as on their other machines. The buttons feel very robust, giving a satisfying click, and even the PID display is surrounded by a subtle touch of chrome. If I had to point out two areas that don't look as high-end, it would be the way that the body panels connect on the back of the machine, and the fact that the water tank cover just kind of sits on top instead of locking nicely into one position. The portafilter is heavy and almost identical to those found on other Profitec machines, except they've opted to change the spouts to a more rounded shape. I have absolutely no idea why companies always tend to go with this spout design on their more budget-friendly models. However, functionally, they are exactly the same as any other spouts. When it comes to the design of this machine overall, this is where Profitec have really strayed away from their more typical polished metal design language. As you can see, this machine is all matte black, and most striking of all, it has a light blue pressure gauge. I've said this before, and I will say it again, I am 100% in favor of espresso machine manufacturers having a bit more fun with their designs, and in my opinion, this is a great looking machine because of that. From the front, this machine is not visually all that different from a Gaggia Classic Pro, but it is 5 inches deeper, about an inch taller, and almost 50% heavier. Still, this is a very modest sized espresso machine, and because of that, it should be able to fit into most people's kitchens and under most sets of overhead cabinets. But within that pretty compact design, as Profitec often does, they have managed to fit in a good number of very important features, and that's what we're going to go over in the next sections of this review. Living with the Profitec GO has been very good. The boiler heats up in around 7 minutes, and then after that it proceeds to heat up the portafilter and the cup warming rack on top very effectively. You can see when the machine is up to temp thanks to a very clear PID display through which you can adjust the brew temperature and steaming temperature, and it also acts as a shot timer during brewing. This PID display is very nice because it shows a live readout of the temperature, not just your set temp that you've selected. This is extra important on a single boiler machine because what that allows you to do is accurately switch between brewing and steaming and then back down to brewing temperature without wasting too much water during your purges. Like other Profitec machines, the water reservoir is also slightly oversized at 2.8 liters, meaning you have to refill much less frequently than on some competitors. The drip tray is also deceptively large, pulling straight out to make it easier to empty when needed. Other than that, operating the machine is very straightforward. One button for power, one button for brewing, one button to heat up to steaming temperature, and then a variable steam knob. When it comes to brewing espresso, people will be very happy to hear that the Profitec GO has an all-metal water path, which is really nice to see in a machine in this price bracket. Other than that, it uses a 400 milliliter insulated brass boiler, and of course, a 58 millimeter commercial-sized portafilter, which makes finding accessories or aftermarket parts very, very easy. The PID provides excellent thermal stability over the course of the shot, leading to very consistent results back to back to back. Something that Profitec have started doing that I am also very happy to see on this machine is tool-free access to the OPV adjustment on the top of the unit. The machine ships running at 10 bar at the pump, which equates to 9 bar at the group head, but having the option to tweak, recalibrate, or play around with other pressures is a really nice feature. The combination of all of these things leads to the GO being a great performer for espresso that can easily hang with much more expensive machines thanks to its generous list of features. When it comes to steaming on the Profitec GO, surprise, surprise, it was also a very good performer. When it comes time to switch over to steaming temp, this machine will take around 1 minute to reach the stock temperature of 130 degrees Celsius. However, you can drastically speed that up by putting the PID in its highest temperature mode, in which case it'll take only 40 seconds to reach 130 degrees Celsius. Just a quick tip. Or you can use a very typical workflow when dealing with a single boiler and steam your milk first, and then watching the PID the whole time, just cool the boiler back down to brewing temperature. This will only take about a 5-second flush. Regardless of which method you use, the Profitec GO has great steaming power in store. It'll take just over 20 seconds to steam a single drink, which is equal to or even slightly faster than the Rancilio Silvia we reviewed previously. The steam arm has plenty of adjustments in the ball joint and uses a 2-hole steam tip. However, it is not a dual wall steam arm, instead opting to use a rubber grip to protect your hands. In fact, that lack of a dual wall steam arm might be my single nitpick about this machine, and quite frankly, I am getting a little bit tired of how hard it is to fault these new Profitec models. This company is clearly very good at listening to customer requests and finding little holes in the market to fill with their machines. First the Pro 400 and now the Profitec GO. This machine has an oversized water tank, a big drip tray, a PID, a shot timer, a 58 millimeter portafilter, easy access to the OPV. They've just nailed it. And compared to other things in this price range like the Rancilio Silvia, they just don't stack up. So, in my opinion, if you are shopping in this price range, this is absolutely one to check out. If you want to do that, I will have it linked down in the description below. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave us a like and even consider subscribing if you want to see some more like it in the future. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.